Hey MVPs, Rico Notes here. Going to talk to you guys about the results show. Pretty rough night, man. Ended up the night 5-5 money line, not good. Missed all the parlays, all of them, every single one of them. And yeah, fight cancellations, it caused that issue and a robbery and all this shit. We'll talk about it, but remember, I have to do these results shows so we can talk about what we saw fresh in our mind from the fighters, and then I'll talk about all the gambling. First, I'll show you the results here. A lot of red. Red is dead. It's not like our other weeks where we're hitting everything. Would have been nice. It didn't happen. And this happens probably, about 4, 5, 6, 7 times a year. We got 42 fight cards. Try to stay green. Try to stay positive. We'll talk about it, though, because the analysis was accurate in some cases. And then in some cases, we learned things about other fighters. So let's go. All right, first thing I want to talk about here, shout out to the MVPs watching me on the Discord server right now and YouTube. I just had an MVP ask me if we had an MVP channel or a chat channel. He asked me on Patreon, and I want to talk about this in a free video just so you guys are aware. Yes, we have a Discord server. You can't show up to the Discord server unless you're connected. Connected apps, bro. When you go to Patreon, there's the homepage on Patreon. I'm going to show you. You should not have a problem with this. You're all MVPs. It's really simple. But for some reason, some people just can't handle it, bro. You just can't sit down. Your attention span isn't long enough, and you can't figure it out. So I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Let me just get this right. And I just talked to a guy about it, right? I just put this here so you can do it. I'm going to clear the filters, and I'm going to scroll down. This is the Patreon homepage. And right there, it says pinned. It's the first video. It says you're an MVP. Now what? And we still got thousands of MVPs who don't have a clue what the fuck they're doing. This shit's been posted since 31 October of 2023. You're an MVP. It tells you what to do. It tells you to download Discord app. It tells you how to follow the link. It never expires. But you can't show up to Discord unless you go to connected apps. And when you go to your settings over here, it's not going to work for you. You can't do it on your phone. You actually have to be on a different account. You have to go down here and make sure you're on your member account. Make sure you're not trying to create. And then you go to your settings, make sure the emails match. And if I go down here and I go to this, if I go to settings right now, let me show you. I'll show you right now. See this? This says apps. That's not the right one. It needs to say connected apps. So you go in here, you go to your homepage. You'll be fine. Then you go to settings on your homepage. Do it on a browser. I'm doing it in front of you guys. You hit more. Oh my God, there's connected apps. You go to connected apps. You hit the Discord server and you join us. It's that easy. I just did it in 2 seconds, bro. Less than 30 seconds. Once you connect it, authorize it. You use the same email address on your Discord profile that you use on Patreon. You're fucking in. And then you can join us and all the MVPs watching every single Saturday. We do a live stream every Saturday. I provide analysis. I provide live betting advice. These are all the MVPs watching right now. The show just ended. So they all signed out. On pay-per-view nights, we get 100-something people in there. Most nights, we get about 50. But there's no excuse for you not to show up. If you show up to the channel, and your name isn't green. You see this green right here? Look at Juan Man. He just showed up. He asked, can I show up to the server? I said, don't show up if you're not connected. Juan Man, Juan Shep. It looks like he's trying multiple profiles. He's doing it wrong. This is wrong. Got to be green. You know how you get green? Connected apps. I just showed you how to do it. Can't do it on your phone unless you're using your web browser. Safari, something like that. Can't use the app. Please don't let your iPhone auto-complete the password and the email address, because then you'll get a unique iPhone ID thingy and you won't be able to duplicate it in the Discord server. We've been dealing with this shit for years. And all these people green over here, somehow they figured it out, bro. And we have thousands of people on the Discord server. They figured it out. Thousands. Anyways, enough of that. Let's talk about the results, bro. I can't help you. I can't help the people who can't sit down and watch a pinned video. Get what you're paying for. Everybody's here, bro. And they're all talking, sharing parlays, posting their picks, their props, and everything. All right, first fight of the night. Remember, there was 12 fights on this card. We're down to 10 for the night. And it sucks, because one of the fights that got canceled, our girl, Luana Carolina, she didn't make weight. And for me, Carolina was a girl that I expected to win and would have been a lock. And it ruined a lot of the parlays. But in this particular fight here, I talked to you guys about Ramazan Timarov being a knockout artist, being vicious, and I felt like Charles Johnson would eventually take him to the deep end, being a taller fighter, trying to tie him up and get the takedowns. Charles Johnson came out with a terrible haircut, number one. You lose 10 aura with that haircut, bro. Seriously, negative 10 aura for sure. Shout out to the kids out there. And it was hyperpigmentation. It was terrible. But I'm looking at Timurov. Timurov, you know, he bangs. He throws some things. Shout out to Natasha. She talked about it. She said, yo, I'll always put my money on that guy. That guy's here to throw. Now, he's a little guy. He's 5'4", and he was swinging his heart out. So you knew he won the first 2 rounds. And even though Charles Johnson came out and won that 3rd round, the fight was already over unless you were going to get a stop. I don't know if Timurov's ever going to drop a first round. He's got knockout power at 125 pounds. Like, it's crazy. Are they 125, 135? I don't remember. But I'm just telling you, like, it's nuts how strong he is. He's vicious. So shout out to him. I'm very impressed with that win. It's going to put him in a place where he's not going to be an underdog for long. I don't know who he fights next. He says he's going after the belt. I saw it on Twitter mid-card. So shout out to him. We got it wrong. It's not a fight you should have been betting on. I told you it wasn't a lock. It was just a lean. I like getting my leans right. It is what it is. I'm really disappointed in myself by not making J.J. Aldridge a lock. J.J. Aldridge beating Andre Lee. I told you guys this wasn't a fight you should be betting on. It's not one I really thought was great, but I knew it was going to go the distance because it's 2 girls who are utterly harmless. They can't hurt each other if they wanted to, and so it went the full distance. That's not surprising to me, okay? But when I watched this fight back, I had an MVP right, and he's like, Rico, I saw that you said she was a coach, so I avoided it. Remember, I told you, Andrea Lee trains at the wrong gym. She's at a local gym. She's getting terrible corner advice. They're not giving her the right stuff. And then you got J.J. Aldridge. She trains with great fighters in a great gym on a great team, getting great advice, and it's making her win fights because she's doing nothing special. She just threw a straight jab and a cross. No takedown acumen, no jiu-jitsu acumen, nothing. She just stays in her pocket here, doesn't throw looping punches, just keeps it straight and goes. She looked physically better, like in shape. She didn't have as much back fat, but even though she looked a little yoked out coming in, you could still see the rolls on her. She's just not an aesthetically pleasing woman. Like, this is a very ugly girl, so it is what it is. But she won the fight, and I knew she was going to win the fight. There's no chance Andrea Lee was going to beat her. Andrea Lee's on the longest losing streak in the history of the UFC. I don't know why she hasn't been cut. She needs to retire, get cut, and go do some other things. But listen to me. When I make a video and I talk to you guys about why one fighter is way better than the other, and I convince you that, hey, J.J. Aldridge is way better than Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee's a coach at a terrible team, and she's on the longest losing streak in the history of the UFC. And you write to me and you go, hey, Rico, thanks, man. You helped me fade that fight. What do you mean fade that fight? That's analysis where you should win that fight. I went so in depth to look at her team and give you multiple reasons why you should bet on J.J. Aldridge. That's the chance for you to win money, not avoid it. Oh, I faded her. I didn't bet against her. What? That was a chance to win money. I apologize for not making it green. That's on me. At the same time, J.J. Aldridge, it's really hard to make her a lock. I don't trust her like that. Ugh. All right, so then we got Danny Silva and Lucas Almeida. It's exactly what I thought it was, with the exception of the fact that Danny Silva moved his head really well and stayed out of the pocket and didn't take a ton of damage like he usually does. Almeida threw 244 strikes. He was out just throwing things. But Almeida was afraid to strike with this man, and Almeida's not really built for that I'm going to box you in a phone booth type of thing. So he went out there, threw some punches here and there, but he doesn't have any killer instinct in him. And I think in the future, even though I put TKO on there and I made it a value bet, I think in the future I'm going to voice my concern for Danny Silva, but I couldn't make it a lock. He didn't look good at all. And Vegas is going to make you pay for him a lot. Excuse me. And that's kind of why I didn't make it a lock. I know it was a minus 200 or so, 270. I didn't think of him like that. I apologize for eating ice on the live stream. I have a really bad cough. I'm really sick. And I'm doing a damn live stream right now. Next fight of the night. Exactly what we thought. Kape is a dog. I thought he should have won this fight 30-26. I can't believe I'm coughing on this video. Excuse me for a second. I gotta kill this fan. It's just drying me out. Sorry, guys. So we're looking at a guy like Kape. We really believe in him, but it's getting a little ridiculous to bet on Kape. I'm glad the odds came crawling back before the fight. It went down to 300 as opposed to the 500 it was all week. Some of you guys jumped on it and got extra money on it. I wish you just took it straight across. I would have bet $300 on Chepe to win 100. That's how much confidence I had in him in this fight. Ricardo Ramos is a one-trick pony. He's trying to throw spinning back fists, spinning elbows. Nothing special. He does no combos. He's a little dangerous on the mat, a little dangerous with his jiu-jitsu, and you could see Chepe trying to get up and not want to do jiu-jitsu with the guy. Just remember this, though. We love Chepe. He's won us a ton of money. He's gone 5-0 now, and he's got to go to this point where he's going to be fighting ranked fighters, and he's going to be fighting better fighters. Chepe doesn't do anything exceptionally well. He's a man's man. He's tough as hell. He's a brawler. He's got a lot of cardio. Just remember, he doesn't have an exceptional skill set anywhere. So he's not an amazing striker. He's not an amazing wrestler. He's just a guy that you want in your corner, right? He's just the guy we want to back 100%. So I love him. I tell you, MVPs, we're betting him every single time we see him. He's been a lock for us, I want to say, at least 3 times now. And it's just one of those things where you love the money he's making you. But just know moving forward, Vegas is going to make you pay for him. There's going to be a success tax of some sort. And we're going to have to eventually fade him, depending on who he fights. Okay? I'll let you know. But as of right now, Chepe's the man, and he came through in spades. Next fight. Mario Pinto goes undefeated, remains undefeated. He knocks out Austin Lane. So we know Austin Lane has no chin. And the thing about this is Austin Lane won the first round. Without a doubt, won the first round of this fight. Austin Lane is not reliable to bet on because he has no chin. So I know Mario Pinto's winning the fight. But Mario Pinto's output is not good. And I need you guys to understand that being a 240-pound guy at heavyweight, he was noticeably smaller than Austin Lane in this fight. You're going to sit back and wait for the perfect strike. At one point, he had landed 6 of 6 strikes. He had never missed a strike. But how the hell do you only throw 6 punches in the first 4 minutes or so? At the heavyweight division, if you're waiting around for the right strike, the perfect strike to throw your punch, you're going to eat a lot of strikes. And there's going to be somebody in front of you, not like Austin Lane. There's going to be somebody in front of you that you can't eat those strikes. And they're going to put you up against other knockout artists because that's what the heavyweight division is. So while Mario Pinto is undefeated and everything, just be careful. These odds were stupid. -600 is insane. Yes, he had a highlight reel knockout in the second round. It's because he was fighting a guy who was susceptible to knockouts. I think Mario Pinto needs to increase his output and increase his confidence. He talks a good game on the mic and everything. And he talks about how he's this, that, undefeated. But when you heard him, he said, hey, I was a little nervous. I had a monster in front of me, a Viking chasing me, all this stuff, a former NFL player. You can tell he's describing him in a way that says he was intimidated by his size, strength, muscles, experience, whatever it is. You know, you don't talk like that about another guy. Like, you don't need to hype him up and say that shit. You walk in there, you be a warrior, and you be first. The way to win at the heavyweight division is be first. If you make a living being a counter striker in the heavyweight division, I'm going to show you a losing heavyweight. Period. You need to go out there and be first. And Mario Pinto doesn't have that on him right now. He doesn't have that in him, and it's something I'm going to remember moving forward. So betting on this guy, we didn't get the over rounds in this fight because this guy's a moron. But betting on this guy to get early knockouts, first round knockouts, so guys, some of you guys do those props like that. I don't know how factual that's going to be. Now, they're probably going to give him Bresky next or something like that. They're going to try to build up his record undefeated for a while. They're going to give him a Tafa brother or some shit like that. They're going to let him beat up on some guys. So we're going to go with Mario Pinto for a while. And I want you to know, I've watched his fights on the regional scene. He's still a good grappler. If he gets taken down, he knows how to get back up. But Almeida, I think, would beat him. Jailton Almeida would beat him. And there's a lot of other heavyweights that bring a little too much power for this dude to be sitting back and waiting for his shot. We'll see what happens. I was kind of kicking myself on this one. I told you guys I believed in Sam Patterson enough to pick him to say he was going to win by sub. Unfortunately, he didn't win by sub. He won by TKO. The reality is I just don't like Danny Barlow. And this is the second fight in a row I faded Danny Barlow in that regard. Now, I still picked him in some parlays. I still told you guys I'll take him on a lean, all this shit. And I didn't have the courage to just tell you no. And the reason I didn't do that is because I don't really think Sam Patterson's an ass kicker. Like, I don't. I think he's a one-trick pony. I think he's a jiu-jitsu nerd. Although he won by knockout, it was a one-punch knockout where if you just land one strike and then you throw that same punch over and over and over, right? So he catches you with the cross. If I see you land a cross, which is, your power hand coming across. So we got jab, cross, hook. If I see you land a cross and then you throw another cross and another cross and another cross, you're not a good striker. You're not. It should be a cross. I should see a hook, an uppercut, an elbow, something, a knee. Like, I need to see the combos. And so he's not a good striker. He got the knockout. That's fine. But don't be confused into thinking he's a good striker. The other thing I'm going to say is Danny Barlow is not good. And I knew that going in. And I talked about this in the video. I just didn't have the courage to pull the trigger for you guys and for myself. And I hate myself for that because I'm known for doing this. I should have done it. Danny Barlow's not a good fighter. And this is why I faded him the last time. Nikolai, who's not a good fighter either. Verikov, remember, he just got cut from the UFC. I believe he just got cut today. He got ragdolled by a dude making a debut, Paige Van Zandt's husband. And he gave Danny Barlow the business. And it was a split decision victory for Barlow. And I was sitting back going, he didn't even win that fight. And then we're going to talk about a robbery in a little bit. But my point is like, Danny Barlow is not that. Left-handed God? What is he doing with that thing? What is he doing with it? Must be a different God. I don't know. Because it ain't all that powerful, man. It's not all that strong. Don't believe that shit. And Vegas is making you pay for this guy. Remember this. This guy's a fake. It's not just a fraud check. It's really not good. If this doesn't get fight of the night, I don't know what you got to do to get fight of the night. I don't know. This should be fight of the night. It should be. Hyder Emil versus William Gomez. If you guys know the deal, William Gomez here. The world was telling you William Gomez is a lock. He's too clean. He rolls through his punches, rolls through his strikes, doesn't take a lot of damage. I don't like William Gomez. I told you guys this. He's French, and he doesn't want to scrap. Well, you know what I saw in this fight? I saw a guy that wanted to scrap. I saw a guy that brought the fight and was trying. But the reason I told you to take Hyder Emil was because the octagon was small. You can't run around for 15 minutes with a guy like this. Hyder Emil wants to scrap. And he's just going to walk through whatever you're throwing. And we're going to figure it out when we're done. And obviously he wins the fight. And it's awesome. I just wish I didn't have Gomez in any parlays. I hedged my own bet. And it's unfortunate for me. Now, I saw some MVPs make the bet. Then I saw a lot of guys fade it and just make the parlay bet on Gomez. That's on you, bro. Like, some people are better than others. It is what it is. Missed every single parlay. That's on me. That really happened. I don't know if it's ever happened, but it really fucking happened. Okay? It might have happened twice in my life so far, and I think both are in 2025. I've been doing this for a long time. So that really hurts. But Hyder Emil getting it right. I knew he was going to win the fight. I believe in him. And I also thought that the odds were wrong. An undefeated fighter, hungry, want to just go out there and bang, versus the optics are so much. You want to cheer for the guy because he's out there. He's not a very skilled dude. Just all heart, bro. Just all heart. He's a beast. And you know what I equated it to? I think I talked about this in the final video. I said this fight reminds me a lot of this fight. I said this in the video. They're very similar. Little dudes with a lot of muscle who just wants to go scrap and bang, and a dude that's going to try to be slick and roll through the strikes and make it a point fight and try to look pretty doing it. And this thing right here is going to be more appealing. It's going to be a problem if they can get the bang out. Okay, so pretty good stuff. Excuse me. I don't know what just happened. Shout out to Hyder Emil. And I think a lot of you MVPs liked what you saw in Hyder Emil. I guess we're going to see a different opponent. They're going to give him a really skilled one because that was a skilled opponent. Okay? And the man's still undefeated. And then Vegas is undefeated, bro. Esteban Ribovics loses this fight against Nasrat Haqparast. I don't know how. Let's talk about it. So, first round, without a doubt, Haqparast won the round. Just better counter striking, didn't miss anything. Esteban Ribovics couldn't get his head offline. It was bad. Second round, it looked like Ribovics won the round. The sports books had the odds at even at that point. I believe it was minus 115 for each guy. And that's kind of, we're okay. Let's go to the third round then. And we go to the third round. Ribovics busts him open with a knee. and wins on every single judge's scorecard in the third round. It wasn't about a takedown. No, he won on every single judge's scorecard in the third round. But it didn't matter because Rybovics lost on every judge's scorecard in the second round, which is insane because he won that round. I don't understand it. And what's crazier is when I went and checked the scorecards, one judge had Rybovics winning the first round. So the 29-28 means he won on one judge's scorecards. That judge that gave him the fight gave him the first round, which he definitely didn't win. This whole thing screams corruption. No judge scored it right. None of the three. None of them. I think it's outrageous. I think it's terrible. And it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. Rybovics throws nice kicks. He comes to bang. He's going to throw the whole time. And unfortunately for Rybovics, he was on the losing end of a robbery, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm dumbfounded by it. It sucks, man. And it was a lock, and we missed. Next fight, we got it right. Cody Brundage. I told you one of these guys to look for the way out. Fucking both dudes spit out their mouthpieces. They suck. Both of them do. Even Brundage winning. We got it right. Congratulations. Picked an underdog to win the fight. Whatever. I think, they flipped. Pre-fight odds, they flipped. Marquez became the underdog. Julian Marquez has no chin whatsoever. He really doesn't. He was rattled from the start. Cody Brundage, people say he's back in the win column. He's this, that, or that. Dude, we will fade that dude every chance we get. Fading that dude every chance we get. All day long. They gave him a fish. He is a fish himself. These dudes are not good fighters. Not at all. Shout out to the MVPs who bet on Brundage to win straight across. Some of you guys got to make some straight bets. Stop with the parlays, make some straight bets because you're going to get them right. Then in the main event, it was a coin flip. Do you think Almabayev is going to get a takedown and win the round? And he's going to have to do that 3 times to win the fight by points. And I thought fight by points came out to like plus 280 or something. So it was very advantageous to take it. Not a chance in hell, bro. Manel Kape was better, faster, stronger. Yeah, he poked him in the eye a few times. But what I saw was a guy throwing real combos, moving, great feints, great. He just looked superior. And Almabayev, I think, moving forward, we have to understand that he is what we thought he was, or he is what he was in his last fight. You know, the fight before this, there was an issue where he only landed 1 out of 8 takedowns. And it's one of these issues where this is a little guy who out-wrestled everybody on the regional scene and drowned him. And then he gets up here to these elite fighters, and he can't get his takedown. And if he can't get his takedowns, what has he got? He's not an exceptionally hard striker. These are 125-pound dudes. He's not hitting hard, and we know he doesn't got a lot of heart because let me tell you, he was looking for a way out in this fight. 0 for 6 on takedowns, couldn't get any, and he was looking for a way out. Complained about an eye poke multiple times. That's fine, bro. Get your shit together and swing. Let's fight. Manel Kape looked vicious. I wish we picked up if we didn't. So, let's talk about the card real quick. And like I said, it was a bad night. So, I'll start from up here. I told you Timurov, inside the distance, no decision. I was expecting a knockout. And then if it went to scorecards, I expected Charles Johnson to win on the scorecards. That didn't happen. He won on the scorecards. So this is bad. This didn't happen. It's just a push. You get your money back. It's not the end of the world. All the oranges are from the canceled fights, meaning we missed this parlay, and this parlay because of a canceled fight. It is what it is. Another canceled fight was Castaneda, whatever. So next one is J.J. Aldridge. I told you she'd win by points. She did. Should have bet that pretty heavy, even though it's not a lock. Remember, if it's a black prop, if it's in black on the chart, that's hitting at 62, 63%. So if I'm telling you these minus 135s and these plus 260s are hitting at 63%, that's very advantageous for you to make some money straight across. You don't need a parlay. You can just make your money straight across. We're hitting at this rate. You got to trust the numbers, got to trust the math. Obviously, it was a lock to go the distance. We parlayed that. Unfortunately, the fight we parlayed it with got canceled, and then we parlayed it again, and Rybovics got robbed. So that hurts. That hurts my motherfucking soul because we had it right here. but it went the distance as anticipated. Next fight got canceled. No big deal. Danny Silva, I told you, Lucas Almeida, if he's going to win the fight, it's going to have to be by knockout. Those prop bets. And when you see a purple, let's talk about this. You guys see a purple prop? Let me show you. Lucas Almeida TKO, Patterson sub plus 430, Almabayev by points plus 280. These knockouts here are plus 650, plus 800. Stop betting those like they're supposed to happen. I'm being real. If you see a purple prop on the chart, it's right here, dude. It's going to hit it 34% of the time. And some of you guys are parlaying them. I mean, nobody's hiding anything from you. They're hitting at 34% of the time because they're plus 600s. They're fucking something insane. Please, be responsible. Sprinkle that shit and hope for the best. And don't take them all. Pick one. Pick one and hope it lands. Next fight, Kape. I told you Kape by points. It's plus 260. We hit it and got it right. I also had a feeling he would get a TKO in the second or third round. He never gets it in the first round. He wears dudes down, gets the TKO, stuff like that. We're so close. It almost got finished in the second, and then it didn't. I heard his corner tell him, dial it back. You could hear them giving him calls like, hey, 90 seconds left. Don't do anything stupid. They're yelling out, 90 seconds, 40 seconds, keep it clean. Avoid the spinning back elbow. So he was not going into the deep end and trying to get the finish in the third round. That's disappointing to me. But at the same time, we had it here on the chart at plus 260. So, and those don't miss, right? They don't miss, and then they do. Because they just did on the next fight. Shout out to Austin Lane's bitch ass. He goes out there and ruins it for us. He had a chance to keep us in that 1.5 over. And we didn't get there. And I believe he would. I thought he would grapple and get us on the over, and he didn't. Patterson by sub, it was worth a shot. Everybody knows that's what he does. And then he goes and knocks the guy out. That sucks. Here we go. We got Hyder Mill. We took a money line for a plus 160. We're hitting on those money lines at 44.83%. Taking underdogs and hitting on them is very, very, very tough to do. And we hit on 2 and we missed on 2. So once again, if you bet 1 unit on each underdog on this fight card, you would have been in plus money tonight. Because we had Almabayev, Cody Brundage, Hyder Mill, and Lucas Almeida. We hit on 2 of them. We missed on 2. You put 4 units out. What would you have coming back to you? A 105 and a 160 hit. You would have an extra 0.65 of a unit. Okay, that's your ROI. On 4 units out, you would get back 4.65. I can't do the betting for you. I can't do the gambling for you. That's on you. But it's there. Once again, hitting over 50% on money lines when you're picking underdogs is not realistic. It just doesn't happen, and yet we did it. Wish we would have did it more. I wish I would have picked Sam Patterson here. I had it right. It is what it is. Timarov could have hit 2 more. Didn't do it. All right, but shout out to Gomes. I had it here for points. That's another miss on the blacks. That's what knocked me down. This used to be much higher, and it went bad. Not going the distance. You see it in white text. That means it was green before the fight. I knew this was not going the distance. These 2 guys they don't even train for 15 minutes. They train for 5 minutes of effort, and then one of them's going to look for the exit. So not surprised. That was a lock. We had it not going the distance. This was going to be a parlay. I didn't parlay it anywhere. Well, that sucks. I meant to parlay it with the chicks, but it was probably like another minus 400 or something. It doesn't matter. It hit. Cool. And then we missed on by the points on Almabayev because he wasn't going to win any other way. So it is what it is. Parlay's missing. Let's see what happens. This one got canceled. Parlay and Gomes both lost. Hilarious. And then Kape wins, but Gomes loses. Ruins that one. Kape wins. Ribovics loses. Ruins that one. We should have hit all these. Ribovics losing ruins that one. So getting robbed by Ribovics just hurts, man. It hurts. Definitely hit 2 of these legs, and then one of them got canceled. So this should be green, but it's orange. I'm going to void it out just because I shouldn't void it out. We didn't miss anything. Carolina would have got it right, but it didn't happen. Ribovics getting robbed. Barlow getting beat. And Kape wins, right? Gomes loses. Barlow loses. Kape wins. And then all the locks didn't hit. We actually missed a lock. Ribovics. We would have hit this if Ribovics wins. That's life. So, on this card here, we went 5-5. It's second worst card of the season. It is what it is, man. Some weeks we dominate. Some weeks we don't. I'll keep trying. You guys keep trying. We'll keep learning about the fighters. Thank you for being MVPs. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace.